Welcome to IQ Checker YouTube channel, home of science quizzes and IQ tests. Continuation of paper 2 multiple choice questions for extended candidates as regards Cambridge IGCSE Biology. So in the previous videos, we were able to cover from question 1 to 14 in episode 1, then question 15 all through to question 28 in episode 2. So in this episode 3, we'll be covering from question 29 all through of this paper. So because of that, we'll move straight to question 29. Question 29 says, which statement about the human sexual reproduction is correct? Human sexual reproduction. So in sexual reproduction, which involves the gametes production and fusion of gametes at fertilization. So gametes are haploid cells. That is correct. They are haploid cells. Fertilization occurs when 2D plus F fuse. No, it involves the fusion of haploid cells. The sperm is a male zygote. No, it's a male sex cell. Sexual reproduction results in haploid offspring. No, it produces diploid offspring. So the correct option here is option A. All gametes are haploid. So we'll now go to the next question, which is question 30. Says, where is estrogen produced? Estrogen is responsible for the production of egg cells. Okay, estrogen for egg cells, the oocytes. So it's not produced by the cervix, but rather by the ovaries, not the oviducts and not the uterus. So this makes option B our correct answer. So we now move to the next question, which is question 31. Question 31 says, which row shows correct information about mitosis? Now let's take a good look at this information here. Cells produced by mitosis. What are the properties? A, are genetically different from the parent cell. No. During mitosis, the daughter cells are identical to the parent cell. So this makes option A and B wrong. This information here are correct. So we are left with C and D. So which of them is now correct? We'll now take a good look at the other information about number of chromosomes in the daughter cells compared to the parent cell. Daughter cells, the number of chromosomes is not half during mitosis. This one is rather meiosis. But our question is about mitosis, so this makes our option correct. They have the same number of chromosomes in daughter cells as there are in the parent cell. So the correct option here is option D. Option D is the correct answer. So move straight to question 32, which says, question 32 says, polydactyly is a condition that can occur in cats and results in affected individuals having extra toes. The diagram shows the inheritance of the condition in a family of cats. So you can see the chart, the family tree. So what does this family tree show about the allele for polydactyly? So the allele for polydactyly here, you can see that the traits, once it is present, it always appears. It appears in this generation. It still appears in this generation. Well, with this, you can see that it is dominant. It is dominant. It is expressed across the generation. So it is not co-dominance. It is not, it could be dominant or recessive. Now, it is recessive? No, but it is rather dominant because it keeps expressing itself across the generations. Question 33 now says, the pictograph shows a cross-section through a marram grass leaf. Which feature is an adaptation of a xerophyte? And if we talk of xerophytes, xerophytes are plants that grow in arid regions like the deserts or areas with snow. So for this, looking at the pictogram, there is a special feature here in the leaf, such as these tiny spines. You look at the presence of these tiny spines, all these tiny spines. All these are tiny spines. Alright? So, and this is a special feature in xerophytes to prevent water loss in the plant. So, looking at these characteristics now, they have fine spines, fine hairs in the leaf. So this makes our option B the correct answer. For them to survive in deserts, definitely they should have a level of water conservation, and that is done as a result of this fine hair, not chloroplast, not phloem, not the xylem. Okay, so this will now take us to the next question that says, some statements about mutations are given. 1. A random change in the amino acid sequence in DNA causes gene mutation. 2. A mutation is a genetic change. 3. Ionizing radiation decreases the rate of mutation. 4. New alleles are formed by mutations. Now, out of these 4 questions, which statements are correct? Which statements are correct? Now, looking at the statements, number 1, a random change in the amino acid sequence in DNA causes gene mutation. No, gene mutation is as a result of change in the nucleotide sequence, not amino acid sequence. So mutation is a genetic change, absolutely correct, 100%. Ionizing radiation decreases the rate of mutation. No, it rather increases it. Ionization by radiation. Then number 4, new alleles are formed by mutation. That is absolutely correct, 100%. So this makes option D our correct answer. 2 and 4 as our correct answer. Now move to question 35. Question 35 says the graph shows the growth of a population of rabbits in one area. Which statements are correct? Which statements are correct using this graph? Okay, now at X, number 1, at X the birth rate is higher than the death rate. The birth rate is higher than the death rate, which is absolutely correct. That's why there is increase in population. Then number 2, at X, there are no deaths and the population is limited by lack of food. No, definitely there are deaths. It's just that mortality rate is lower. Then number 3, at Y, the birth rate and death rate are equal. That's why there's a plateau here. Okay, the death rate and the birth rate are equal. So this will leave us with 1 and 3. 1 and 3. So we'll now take a look at the options 1 and 3 as our correct answer. So option B here is our correct answer. 1 and 3. Option B is our correct answer. So we'll now move to question 36. Question 36 says, in guinea pigs, the allele for black fur is dominant and allele for white fur is recessive. A test cross can be used to determine the genotype of a guinea pig with black fur. What would be the expected result of the test cross if the guinea pig with black fur was homozygous? Homozygous. Okay, but black fur is homozygous. If B represents black fur and represents white fur, homozygous black crossing will definitely give you this, and this is black. This as well will give you black. This will give you also black, and this will give you black. So when you have homozygous black and you have a recessive white, definitely the offsprings you have will be 100% black, because the black will continue to express itself even in the presence of the recessive trait. So this makes our option C the correct answer to this question. Now we'll move to question 37. Question 37 says, the diagram shows part of the nitrogen cycle. Says which row shows the correct processes of R, S, and T. So before we move to the option, let's just identify the processes at R. So this is R here. So here we have R, here we have S, and here we have T. Okay, the processes now. Conversion of nitrogen gas in the atmosphere to nitrates in the soil. This is automatically nitrogen fixation. Nitrogen gas from the atmosphere to nitrates in the soil is nitrogen fixation. Now, conversion of ammonium ions to nitrates. This is S is what? Nitrification. Nitrification. Now, T has to do with nitrates in the soil being converted to atmospheric nitrogen. So T is denitrification. Alright, so with this now we can now look at the options and pick our correct answer. So with this we have denitrification first, that is T, okay? So with this we can automatically say denitrification is T, option A is wrong and option D is wrong. So TT and B and C. Now that will take us to nitrogen fixation, and that is R. Okay, nitrogen fixation, that is R. So this makes this one correct, this one correct. Although this one is correct, but this option is wrong. Then nitrification has to do with S, which is correct. So the only correct answer here is option C. So option C is our correct answer. Then we'll now move to question 38, which says, during eutrophication, what causes the death of fish? Eutrophication has to do with the growth of organisms in aquatic environment, and this is as a result of decomposition of some chemicals like fertilizers in water bodies, and this can result into decrease in the concentration of oxygen in such aquatic environments, thereby resulting into the death of aquatic life. So eutrophication does not increase growth of producers, does not increase photosynthesis by producers, does not decrease the concentration of carbon dioxide in the water, but rather decrease the concentration of oxygen in the water, thereby resulting in the death of fish in aquatic life. Then we'll now have question 39, which says, which product is made using an enzyme rather than bacteria or fungi? Which product is made by using enzyme? Enzyme is used. Insulin is produced using bacteria. Penicillin is produced using fungi. And microprotein too involve the use of bacteria. Right? But lactose involve the use of an enzyme called lactase. So lactase will help to degrade the lactose in milk, thereby having a lactose-free milk. So this makes option C our correct answer. And finally, in this paper, we have question 40, and question 40 says, some ways in which humans make use of organisms are listed. Alright, how we make use of oxygen? Using yeast to produce ethanol. Using yeast to produce ethanol, no. Artificial selection of sheep with thick wool is a natural process. Using bacteria to produce human substances is a genetic modification. So what are examples of genetic modification? This is a natural process used to ethanol. Artificial selection of sheep is an artificial process, but using bacteria to produce human substances involve genetic modification. So the only correct option here is option D, which is 3 only. So with this, we've come to the end of this paper as well as the end of this video. Please be on the lookout for other videos for paper 3, for paper 4, 5, and 6. Thank you.